My one piece of advice, though, to millennials who are holding off having kids because of the finances, if you're in a position, which is also expensive, consider freezing your eggs because you could change that position later and want to. But no, it's hard. It is a very real struggle out there.
I think it's refreshing to see.
People be so out of touch. If someone doesn't have enough money to even raise a child, to bring a child into this world, what makes you think they have enough money to freeze their eggs? Are we going to use our brains today or no? Here connecting people with policy. Before we begin today's video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you're notified whenever I post a new video. Y'all, we are on the road to 5K. We are almost there. We are almost there. Literally almost there. Literally like hanging by a thread, just touching it just a little. Make sure you follow me on my social media. Y'all, I want to thank y'all for your continuous support. I love y'all all. I say that every video, mainly because like I just genuinely love your support. Y'all are so sweet, so respectful sometimes. Y'all, we're gonna go straight into today's video / conversation because this has been an ongoing topic. And I tell you, people were coming after Whoopi. I said, what did this woman say? I just saw a quote of what she said, so I had to go and look for the clip that everybody was talking about. She said things along the lines of Gen Zs and millennial, if you want better, just work harder, something along those lines. I don't know the full context. We're gonna watch it right now. I do know that there's been an ongoing conversation around how millennials and Gen Zs, they have it really hard. I said they as if I'm not Gen Z. We have it really hard. It's the people who came before us, specifically I would say the boomers generation. No tea, no shade to y'all. I just don't think y'all set us up for the best possible outcome. I thank God for putting me in a position where I don't have to worry about certain things that a lot of people in my age have to worry about, whether it's financial security, excessive bills, or whatever the case may be. This is actually me coming from a position of understanding reality. Just because I'm not in that position doesn't mean everybody else isn't in that position. In today's day and age, millennials and Gen Zs, they do have it. I wouldn't necessarily say it harder because it's not a competition, but we got it hard, y'all. We have it hard. I need a lot of y'all to get off social media and go touch grass and look at reality. A lot of people are working 2, even 3 jobs with side hustles. Can't even talk. With side hustles and all, not being just to make ends meet. This false dream that was sold to us. Once you go to college, you do this, boom, you're gonna be successful. It's just like people did that. People did that, so much so that so many people were going to college getting their bachelor's, so much so that the value of a bachelor's decreased, and now people are going back to get their master's. And it's like, you can never win. We're gonna go ahead and just watch today's video, and we're gonna go ahead and watch today's clip, and we're gonna see what everybody's talking about.
Apparently, millennials and Gen Z have a much different view of the American dream than past generations. Data shows that soaring inflation, student debt, and limited room for advancement in the workplace has made them feel that milestones like affording a home, starting a family, excelling within the corporate structure are out of reach. Does every generation feel this way at some point? I say yes. What do you think?
Well, since we're sticking with our Clinton theme today, it's the economy, stupid. Like, my generation is the generation of the housing crisis, the financial crisis, 9/11. We've been in war basically my entire generation. You've got 45% of people ages 18 to 29 living with their parents. Our American dream's different. Doesn't mean other struggles didn't matter, but on the having kids specifically, I get it. Most of my friends, if they're not, married by a certain age, they're not owning homes at the same rate, and you don't want to have kids if you don't feel like you can provide that. My one piece of advice, though, to millennials who are holding off having kids because of the finances, if you're in a position, which is also expensive, consider freezing your eggs because you could change that position later and want to. But no, it's hard. It is a very real struggle out there.
I think it's refreshing to see.
Okay, I'm gonna pause right here to people be so out of touch. People be so out of touch. If someone doesn't have enough money to even raise a child, to bring a child into this world, what makes you think they have enough money to freeze their eggs? Are we going to use our brains today or no? Like, I understood her trying to relate, saying like her generation was this, then a third, you know, pretty much her generation been in war, economy's been bad in her generation, whatever the case may be. But that doesn't negate what the current generation and millennials are going through. I think that was like an out of touch comment in itself. Like, consider freezing your eggs. The fact, instead of telling someone to freeze their eggs, the fact that we live in a society to where children are now deemed as a liability rather than a blessing, that says a lot. That says a lot.
People enter parenthood so soberly, because I think for generations since the beginning of time, people get married, they just have babies because they're supposed to, and this is what we do. And then you see people like gay couples who fight so hard just to love a baby, and every day people are having kids that some are beaten and like not taken care of. And so to have a generation that says, I don't know if I can give them the life they deserve, I don't know if I'm capable of being a whole person and doing this, I say bravo, because it is not a slight undertaking.
That was my takeaway. I mean, you know, my generation, I mean, you got married, you tried to get a house, and you had kids. And this seems to be very intentional. They're thinking about it. And I agree with you, though.
Millennials are brilliant.
Your eggs start turning to dust, and so you have to be careful. And so if you're a young person and you have any kind of chance of freezing your eggs, which wasn't available to me when I was, you know, your age, I think that you got to at least preserve the opportunity, because you may change your mind.
I'm sorry. I
She said one kid is enough.
Yeah,
well,
but I'm so confused. I feel like they're missing the point. They're making it about kids, but people are not. You're making it conversation surrounded about the kids, but not necessarily around where our current state is at. Like, instead of addressing the actual issue, as in why people feel this way, they're just highlighting on the kids portion. Me personally, I don't think someone's value is indicated whether or not they have kids or not. I think that's just the surface level of the conversation. We need to dig deeper. Like, why are we maneuvering in a country, or why are we maneuvering in a way in which people feel like they can't even bring kids because they can't financially support a child? Yeah.
You know, listen, every generation comes and wants to do better than their parents did. Every generation. But I'm sorry, if you only want to work 4 hours, it's going to be harder for you to get a house.
Oh, and don't mention 4 days.
No, but
That's what people are talking about. Okay. I think she thought she ate that. Who's working 4 hours and expecting to get a job? Be for real. Be for real. You know, that's not, if you think that's reality, then you're out of touch with reality. Like, who's working 4 hours expecting to get a job? No, that's not no one's reality. In reality, people are working 2 to 3 jobs just to make ends meet. Like, be for real. That comment was cuckoo.
I feel for everybody that feels this, but I'm sorry. We busted our behinds. We had to bust our behinds because we didn't have the option
y'all gave
of going
us the housing
back.
crisis, though. But
listen, we had all kinds of stuff.
no, it's true. But the one thing I'd say is millennials are statistically the first generation that's likely to do worse off than their parents. That's a
you know
real
what? That's what. Listen, we had all kinds of stuff.
No, it's true. But the one thing I'd say is millennials are statistically the first generation that's likely to do worse off than their parents. That's a
you know
real
what? That's what they said to us as well. Every generation is told you're going to do worse than your parents. And you know what? People pick it up and they do what they do and they raise themselves. And this is what you got to do. It's called being a good citizen.
It's like, I think that was weird. I think that's weird. I feel like they missed it. Like, I understand, obviously, I can look at it in a viewpoint of like, life is tough. Like, you have to keep pushing, keep going. But then again, I'm not going to pretty much minimize what the whole like Whoopi just came off like she just let's go through the comments, y'all. Let's go through the comments and see what people are saying. Someone said Whoopi's tone is a prime example of why things are so tough for younger generations. Okay. As a millennial working hard and still earning pennies, I'm offended by Whoopi's dismissal. Oh, dang, everybody coming after her. The problem is Whoopi, even working multiple jobs, people still can't afford to buy a house in some areas. I don't think people understand how bad that housing market is. Like, it's not what's up. The problem is Whoopi, even working multiple jobs, we already read that. Whoopi's always very dismissive of the problem of younger generations. For anyone that agrees with Whoopi, might I present to you the cost of post-secondary education? Ooh, that's true. Whoopi is so tone deaf at this subject. Her generation could buy a home and raise a family on one income. I'm over here trying to rub 2 pennies together and make rent every month because it keeps skyrocketing. It's not the same. I'm being so serious. Like, it's not the same. Like, imagine paying up to $3,000 for even like a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. Like, it's crazy. Like, even over $1,000 a month just to rent out a place. Just renting out something that's not even yours. It's crazy. Whoopi is so ageist. My parents always tell me how jobs had better benefits in the 70s and 80s and everything was relatively more affordable then. It's not the same, and just when we are old, things will not be the same for the younger generations. So that's true. She really got under my skin on this one. When they discuss age on this show, she gets so defensive about older folks, and now she's dismissing real life problems of millennials. Yikes. Alyssa's right. Millennials will go down in modern history as the first generation that had it harder than their parents or grandparents, regardless of how many hours you work or time put in. I'm working 7 days a week and I'm still struggling. That's true. That is true. I think people are undermining it. Like, people are undermining like the obstacle that millennials and like older Gen Zs are having right now. Like, it is not what's up. Everyone's coming at Whoopi. Whoopi, don't do this. Yeah, $40 million. Homes are unaffordable and people are priced out of their area. I agree with Alyssa on this one. It is the fact that the cost of living has only gone up. No one is saying that the generation before millennials didn't bust their behinds, but you had the ability to work hard and afford the cost of living. That is just a lot harder now. Sure, technology has given us a lot of opportunities, but that doesn't mean the cost of living and interest rates have gone down. Child, they eating her up. Whoopi, I'm a millennial and has earned her MBA and doctorate degree from reputable accredited public state universities while working full-time in higher education and maintaining a part-time job. Oop. I've yet to earn wages that afford me the opportunity to purchase my own home or raise a child to the standards I prefer. I too have busted my behind, so respectfully, no. This is the one. Whoopi's generation gave us the housing crisis, the automaker crisis, the environmental crisis, from smog to ocean pollution to acquired pollution. Much obliged, ma'am. Is it obliged or obliged? Obliged. I promise you I have a college degree. I agree with majority of the comments. I do think Whoopi is being dismissive. I think that it's so easy for people in the generation that's messed us up to just say, oh, tighten up your bootstraps. It's just like, bro, be for real. Like, it's not like, for me personally, I'm not going to sit around and complain about what's stopping me. I just never been that person. But I'm also going to acknowledge the obstacles. While acknowledging the obstacle, I'm going to beat that obstacle. Like, I just barked at y'all. That's how you know I'm serious. Y'all, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I think this topic is a very interesting topic. I do think it's unfortunate. Some people just feel like, oh, I made it through. You can make it through. Anything is possible. It's just like, bro, almost 50% of people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s live with their parents. And that should say something, mainly because it's like, it's too expensive to live on their own. So yeah, with that being said, be sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you're notified whenever I post a new video. Follow me on my social media, y'all. Thank y'all all for tuning in. I love y'all all. This is Udoak, connecting people with policy. God bless y'all.